Hello, ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? It's your boy izlogic. Welcome me to the second take of this gamecast because, spoiler alert, I actually recorded this before as I'd not watched this game before. Yeah, this is the only best of 5 game that I've missed this year, as well as any LEC game this year. I've watched every single one of them, and this is the one I thought, screw it, let's make a video out of it because I want to cast it and have a bit of fun doing so. But this game should be interesting as it's Rogue versus Mad, and we're going to probably see some picks towards some crazy things in this series. I'd expect, though, if we're looking at bans, I'd expect bans towards Lilia, I'd expect bans towards Caitlyn, Hecarim, and maybe a few towards the bot, towards the mid lane because of the Kali games I remember from Schalke versus Mad and how effective Humanoid was on that in the last few games of that series. Now, as a whole, this game's going to be very interesting because a lot of people are expecting the Madlions to win it after Rogue's abysmal showing against Fnatic. You can't realistically say too much considering the fact that we saw Fnatic destroy G2, even though GT throw in the game, but I'm not going to get into that. Anyway, Rogue are on blue side for game number 1. Mad are on the red side. There's not much more that we can say other than let's load into the draft and have a look-see at what these teams want to do with themselves. So, let's look at the first round of bans. We start with the Lilia ban. Unsurprising to actually see because of the fact that Shadow had a pop-off performance on it against G2 and he absolutely tore apart Schalke with that pick and realistically won the series with it. As for the Madlions side, they ban out the Caitlyn, kind of the strongest ADC currently in the meta, and Rogue ban out the Akali, so there's that 2 picks that we discussed to be banned out by Rogue against Mad already going through. The next ban that comes through is a GP. Unsurprising considering the fact it's a strong, safe pick top laner that can deal well with weak side top lane. Finn is probably one of the weaker weak side top laners considering he's actually on the first seed team. It's actually amazing that he doesn't actually do too much in terms of playing strong. He doesn't play carries, he plays just like a GP, Orns, them sort of champs. And there's actually the Renekton ban coming through as well. I like that a lot. Very safe option overall being removed from Finn. And the last ban to discuss from Rogue was the Hecarim. Now, we've seen the first round of picks coming through from both teams right now as Lucian is the first pickup for Rogue, prioritizing that strong solo lane pick that's a very big lane bully if it gets ahead early, and it doesn't even need to get a kill lead. CS advantage is huge for it as well, because it can just dominate a lane with the extra autos between abilities being very effective. Now, the Ashe is locked in for the first pick for Mad here, which obviously makes a lot of sense because of its strong pick potential, especially alongside a TF. There's a lot of pick potential in them 2 picks for Mad here, and I'd expect Rogue to go towards a very safe support like a Tahm Kench. Reason being, Tahm Kench can devour a carry on the side of Rogue and put him in a safe position. And with that arrow, if it hits onto a carry, if a gold card hits onto a carry, nom nom nom, they get eaten, no more CC put onto them, and he gets repositioned into a good, better place and can just absolutely destroy the Ashe and the TF. But looking at the Rogue carries that come through, they don't go with the TK, they instead go with the Evelynn and the Senna. Evelynn, a strong champion, I'd expect it to maybe get counterpicked here with, say, a Rek'Sai, but it isn't actually picked, so I like this Evelynn because of the amount of AP burst potential she has on this patch. She's very, very strong. Senna I love as well. It's kind of the Ashe Senna bot lane that everyone's been seeing across the world. Jhin has been an option here in the LEC, but it was been dipping out, I guess is the best way to say, the Jhin. And instead we're seeing a lot of Ashe versus Senna because of the scaling potential of the Senna into the pick potential of the Ashe. Now, second ban phase, I'd expect targets towards, say, strong engaged champions on the Mad side in that bot wave to go alongside the Ashe, or even some safe bot laners like the Tahm Kench should be banned out by Mad here, but instead Mad are double downing onto top laners. Shen and Jax, two big picks at the moment. I'm actually surprised Jax has slipped through the draft so far until this second ban phase, and as a whole it's very strong. Camille, though, was the lock-in for Mad, so removing Jax makes a lot of sense. It absolutely destroys a Camille with the counter-strike. And looking at Rogue's bans, Graves and Lulu, I'm not too surprised by the Graves. Obviously Shadow likes these farm-heavy junglers that can actually carry late into the game. But Lulu I'm actually a little surprised. Yes, it was used by Kaiser in the previous series, and it worked quite well. But considering the fact I'd expect maybe a heavy engage support to come through, I'm actually amazed that it's not a naught ban. Anyway, Madlions, first pick Lee Sin in this second phase. It's a Shadow special. He plays this very well. He's probably one of the most gifted Lee Sins in the league, and if not the world. He plays it phenomenally well. But the side of Rogue, they lock in two very safe options. They lock in the Tahm Kench, which we've discussed how useful that is as a pick, and the Ornn. Ornn is actually a very strong top laner in the current meta because of the scaling he provides to his team. And with a Lucian and a Senna who will build ornaments, like maybe a Ghostblade on the Senna and an IE on the Lucian, big picks overall for this Rogue squad. And the last pick, which I'm actually surprised that they gave last pick 2 on the side of Mad, it's the counter pick support. Don't like that option, honestly. I prefer them to have locked their support in round 1 or in round 2, but obviously TK makes sense to pick for Rogue, whereas this Thresh works quite well, but I personally prefer TK over this Thresh any day in these two lineups. And as a whole, this should be pretty interesting. Now, as a whole, let's look at this game as we're going to be loading on very soon. Mad versus Rogue. This is going to be an all-out banger. Let's load into the game. And onto the riff we go. Let's go through the normal thing I like to do, looking at summoner spells and ruins. Mid lane, we'll start there with the summoner spellbook TF. Makes a lot of sense with the TP as well. He's going to be looking to play around the map and be very, very effective. As for the rest of the game, it's actually a surprise to me it's Aftershock Thresh instead of Guardian, because of the fact that Thresh likes to play a bit more for his laner, obviously using the Lantern for shielding. Why not use that to give a bit of extra thing as Larson leaves the game, as well as Hans Sama. Nice to see the big carries on the side of Rogue leaving already. Makes a lot of sense. Now, as a whole, top side, Grasp into Conqueror. Both top laners wanting to play for a sustain lane and actually live out through a lot of the game. As a whole, makes a lot of sense. And what's even more impressive, it's press the attack Lucian. He's going to be going very aggressive into this TF with lane bully status, and with him actually getting early damage onto this minions, you know he's going to start to get the push in and dominate this lane, as TF will have a hard time dealing with the pressure that this Lucian can put out, but we shall see how he manages to deal with this as the game goes on. And what's interesting to note is if we look at Larson's LEC Summer 2020, 6.5 KDA in the normal split. Playoffs 2.8. He's going down gold at 10 in playoffs to the plus 4.4 in regular. He isn't performing as well as what he did in regular, but obviously regular is 18 games, and in playoffs, he's only played 5 up until now. So you've got a far less actual basis to describe how well this guy's doing, but in this series I'd expect him to be probably topping some of them charts. I don't know, because that KDA will be bumped up, especially playing a Lucian into a TF. I'd expect it to be very, very important. Now, what's interesting to note here is if we look at the top lane matchup on your bottom half of the map, is we see Death Sentence land here in the bot. Not going to be pressured though too hard by Mad here, as they technically lose out on that trade, I do feel, as Senna can just sustain back up to full health with her Q, and TK can just use his health pots and the biscuits to get himself back up there. As another Death Sentence lands here, forcing out the Devour from Vander there. Bit of pressure coming out overall from Madlions in the spot side is going to be very, very, very normal, honestly, for an Ashe Senna lane. The Ashe should realistically get the push, especially with a very hard playmaking support. Now, what I want to do is look at this top side slightly, as Diorn is actually pushing quite heavily into this Camille, and is looking to get a play as we look mid right now. Shadow is behind Larson. He could go for a play here if he lands a Sonic Wave, but Evelyn's also around, and she's going to walk over the sword and spot that this Lee Sin is taking his Raptors, and the hate spikes land. The charm does not. He ward hops away over to this Drake pit. He's forced to flash. Evelyn flashes over, and here comes Lucian. He's going to flash forward and land a W, securing first blood for Rogue. Big plays coming out there as we look topside. Camille is slightly losing out the trade here, and that Bellows Breath is going to force a flash out, and Camille is being bullied quite heavily here by an Ornn, and the only good thing is there's a lot of minions there for her to actually get a bit of a push. Now, we watch this play again. Evelyn does not have her Invisi Cloak. Shadow knows that this Evelyn's approaching if he looks at his minimap. He could have easily got away before this Evelyn got anywhere close to him. But because of the pressure he gave up, because of his misplacement, I guess, he gets immediately hit by the Lee Sin, and topside, Camille's been caught out. Ornn obviously lowered her HP earlier, before that replay, and Lucian's just come up and roamed and punished. Like, that is a pretty bad play if I'm Mad here, because you've been caught out twice. That being said, TF has come down to his bot wave, using his TP, and he waits so long to use his gold card, it allows the Rogue bot lane to get under the turret without having to waste the Devour. That is kind of annoying here if I was Mad, as you've made an attempt at 2 plays here, and 1 play you were caught out on. Your other play was a misplay, honestly, and then you also got caught out yourselves by a play from Rogue and gave over a second kill. Yeah. This Lucian also, I haven't described, is on 2 kills right now. He's just gone back to base. He's bought himself a pickaxe and a tier. This guy's going to be very powerful at 5 minutes into this game. He's going to be absolutely decimating this lane, and I expect that CS disadvantage he's got right now to absolutely disappear. But we'll return to the actual map, and looking towards this bottom half, Madlions actually are starting this Drake. This is huge for them because that CDR reduction will be good for a lot, especially the Ashe, to get them Enchanted Crystal Arrows out, and starting up plays for this Mad team is huge for him. As we look towards the top side, Camille yet again losing out on trades to this Ornn, which is actually a surprise to say, because Ornn's meant to be this big bulky bruiser, as the Call of Forge God's going to be used. Hookshot keeps Camille safe and unable for the Ornn to chase him down. But Finn having a very good time here in this top lane, as he's got essentially a very easy time now after the early kill onto the Camille from Lucian. So, looking across the map at the CSs of each player, top side 20 CS advantage for Ornn, with that Balmy Cinder also in his pocket, as the Culling's gonna get stopped there by the gold card, narrowly avoiding the kill there. TF is, but Shadow coming down here onto the Evelyn, he's maybe caught out, but he is gonna force the smite onto the red buff. He's gonna steal it away, and Evelyn's just gonna be like, thanks for the leash, kid, give me your red buff. Don't know why Shadow tried to do that. I guess it's because he wants to cut his, he should have cut his losses realistically, but he realistically didn't even need to go towards his red buff there. He re-engaged onto Evelyn for no apparent reason. Kind of a bad situation. Now, looking at the levels for each champion, what do you know? Larson is level 8. He's pretty big. He's going to be hard to kill. He's going to be a big bully into this TF now, who's going to not like his lane, especially with the Manamune fully complete as well. And realistically, this is going to be a bad experience for Mad right now, because they've allowed 3 unanswered kills over to Rogue. This early game's going very nicely for them. That being said, Hexagon Ultimatum is challenged onto his Thorn early. The gold card comes through. Hookshot lands as well. That's going to be the first kill over to Mad here, and it goes to the Camille, giving a cheeky assist over to TF as well. But what do you know? Mad get one of their plays to actually work here, and Rogue, though, will not let this go unanswered. They're setting up for a play here towards the Herald, as Evelyn's coming round. She is level 7, so invisibility is available to her, and Shadow is in the back of the pit. He's forced to hop over the wall to the TF. Enchanted Crystal Arrow is going to go wide, and we may see a fight here as Tongue Lash and the Culling lands directly onto the TF. The Thresh gets hit by the Culling as well a little bit. Donny Shadow over the top to the TF, and Shadow is forced to recall back away with the Lantern, and he also has burned the Flash, because Evelyn, guess what, fought him in the pit, stole the Herald take, and is now going to take this Herald to the mid-wave. Charm gets put on TF. He's staying quite close to the turret when he doesn't really need to, and this Herald's going to do a lot of damage, giving over 2 turret plates to the Lucian and the Evelyn, who gets global gold from that. And speaking of gold, let's take a look-see at the totals on the map right now. There is literally a 2k advantage in the jungle, a 1k in the mid lane. Bot wave's fairly even in terms of everything, but the gold advantages are looking pretty big for the solo laners of Rogue here. And this is going to be actually quite interesting here, as the solo laner, top laners swap with the bot laners in terms of lanes. We may see some big plays as Evelyn is hovering around this top half of the map, though she is just clearing out her jungle. She could come in for a gank onto the Ashe or the Thresh. Obviously, with Thresh not showing in lane, it's fairly certain that he's probably setting up vision. But her bot side, Camille is getting a push in for herself. She's starting to dominate this lane thanks to the pickup of the Tiamat. She can essentially kill out minions quicker than Yorn can kill her, even though the Sunfire, the Balmy Cinder, will affect this matchup quite heavily. And you look across the board in terms of items here, you look at the Rogue lineup, they're mostly AD. The only AP champion is a Evelyn, who is going towards a death cap already, who is actually mid-wave. I'm going to shut up about everything. Mid-wave, we could see a play here with Evelyn hovering around the lane. She's not been spotted. She is spotted now. Flashes forward, forces Flash out of Lucian. He stuns her up under the turret. She's forced her ult away, and then Lucian comes in and cleans up the TF. That is going to be a kill over to Rogue here. Camille, though, is looking to make a play onto Lucian, but with the charm coming out, this hookshot is not going to land. He is going to be chased down, though, as the W lands in the Hextech ultimatum. Shuts down the Lucian. And Senna may be caught out here by the kick from the Lee Sin. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow lands as well. That is a dead Hans Sama. And Kazi gets his first kill of the game. Big play, though, for Mad, as they managed to pick up 2 kills overall now. But it does not go unanswered, as the Mountain Drake started up here by Rogue. Ornn, though, has got the drop here onto the Camille, and is starting to fight her, and the hookshot pulls her back to safety. Nothing comes from it other than the Infernal Rift has loaded in, and Rogue are looking pretty happy if they get the Infernal Soul here, especially with a Senna and Lucian, and the Evelynn as well, all big burst damage champions with Infernal Soul. That means so much to them. Now let's do our normal item checkup on everyone. Sunfire Cape and a stopwatch in the inventory of the Ornn now. He's probably going to go towards a very defensive item here. Considering you're looking at the champions of Mad, he'll probably go for another armor piece of item here to essentially deal with this amount of damage that he can take. He may even go Abyssal Masto to kind of get a bit of nullification on the damage from TF, who has looked to bully him and do work. Evelynn probably is going to be quite close to her second needlessly large rod. Obviously, she's been sat on that for a while, and she is backing right now. So she is going to buy her second one now. And next back, she'll probably pick up her death cap. Midwave, we see the Lucian picking up a lot of items. He is on his Manamune. He's stacking that up quite quickly, because he's had that for a while now. He's probably building up a IE, if I was him. But Essence Reaver is his second item. That is probably what he's going for now. Senna is sat on her Manamune, charging that up. She's been out for a while here. I'd expect her to be able to buy something soon. And Tom Kench. Tom Kench is Tom Kench. He'll build probably a tanky item first. Maybe even a Dead Man's Plate. Why not? It's them sort of games. That being said, we look towards this bot wave. Camille could be caught out here by the Evelynn. Ornn baiting her slightly, waiting for the hookshot to be used. There we go, Colourforge God's going to be used. Hookshot comes out, Charm lands, and this is a dead Camille, as a Hexet ultimatum will not save her, as Finn picks up the kill. 5-3 in terms of kills overall, and this game is getting very, very out of hand, I would say, if I was Mad. Because late game, I feel that Rogue just outscale them. With the Ornn in actual contention, it's very easy for Rogue to do a lot. That being said, Enchanted Crystal Arrow is going to land. The kick back from Lee Sin, lovely play, will not mean too much, as Senna just manages to flash over him. And the culling comes out over the top. Humanoid does not take the lantern to safety, and the ignite will not kill Senna, as that Dawning Shadow keeps her alive. Rogue get one, and Mad get nothing for it, other than probably this top turret. That being said, there's a play coming out here as the box zones away the Evelynn, forcing her back as she's unable to kind of get in on top of him. And as you see in towards the midwave, Lucian's actually pushing in towards the tier 2. That is going to be huge for Rogue here if they're able to get something. But Lucian actually is roaming down here. There's no vision for Mad in this jungle. Camille has to play safe though. She knows that Lucian has left lane and will probably have been heading down towards her. However, with Rogue looking for pressure in the bot side of the map and the Evelynn forced back to base due to low health, essentially that's a free herald over to the Lee Sin. And Camille may be caught out here. Lucian's roaming as well. Hookshot over the wall. And Lucian's right next to her. Will she escape? No, she won't. The double shot comes through. And narrowly, I tell a lie, she escapes. But with the pressure being put down, that is going to be the second turret of the game here to Rogue. Picking up this bot side tier 1. only one tier 1 turret stands on the map in the top side, and that is Mads. Interestingly enough, we're going to see the carries of Rogue go back to base here. Lucian's backing. Lee Sin, though, could come in. He is actually looking to come in. He steps forward with the ward hop, and he's just going to be hit by the culling. He's hit by every bullet of that, and he is executed off. Why would you go in on your own into 2 carries? I know TF was there, but he was not expecting that play from Shadow. And that gives over Infernal Drake #1 to Rogue here without any real contest. Because your jungler's dead. You cannot contest a Drake without a jungler. Why would your jungler go into 2 carries? Makes no sense to me. And that has cost Mad quite a bit of objectives play. As we watch this again. Walks headfirst into the center and Lucian. They know he's there. Of course Lucian's going to bait it. The heal comes through. The culling lands every single shot. There's no Thresh Lantern to keep you safe either. What were you doing there, Shadow? Makes no sense to me. Nonetheless, Rogue have got to fuck up pretty badly right now if they're to lose this game, because this is one-sided if I've ever seen something. They're up 4k gold 18 minutes in. They're invading into the Mad jungle, removing any vision as Evelyn's called out the TF in the bot wave and executing him off. That's a kill over to him, and we may see a 4v4 fight here from Madlions. Don't know why you would, but the Hawkshot comes out of the wall, isolating the center. Call of Forge God knocks up her, and this is going to be the re-engage from Rogue. That's the Dawn Shadow over the top, and that's the first kill of the fight. Over to Rogue. There's going to be a second kill for the Ornn in this fight, and the culling narrowly does not kill the Ashe, but the Abyssal Voyage from TK is going to try and chase him down, and that's a flash forward. The Tongue Lash lands, and the Rogue lineup picks up a 3rd kill in this extended fight. That's going to be 4 kills for none in a matter of minutes, and Rogue get everything when there isn't anything to play for. Like, Baron spawns in another 20 seconds. That doesn't make too much sense to me why you would go for a 4v4 if you're Madlions, because you're so far down in gold. This Lucian was on 4 kills at this point. He was fed. Evelyn picks up a kill on bot wave. You cannot contest. Makes no sense to me. And with that fight going so well favoured for Rogue, as we may see another fight here as Destiny comes out on top side. Lucian may be caught here, the gold card lands, a cleanse comes forward. Camille does not have ultimate, and she's just going to be the first casualty of the fight. Ornn picks up that kill with the Thresh getting the second. Lucian gets shut down, but the Senna and the TK are here. They're looking to chase down onto Kazi. They're landing shot after shot, but earning their attention over to the TF yet again. Ornn can tank up this turret for a long time. He's so healthy. He's coming in. And that is a status put down onto TF. The Lantern will not keep them safe. The Tom Kench gets a kill there. And Evelyn's coming in for the first kill of the fight for herself. She picks up to the Ashe. That is going to be a double kill over to her as the Thresh falls second. Big plays coming out from Rogue here as they ace the Madlions. And they can essentially turn to Baron here. I tell a lie, they don't ace him. We just have Shadow in the bottom half of the map for some reason. Don't know why he'd be there, other than to probably drop that Herald and get a turret. Why would you get a turret? You don't need that turret, and you have no vision. Lucian, you don't know where he is. He can literally come down and kill you. What are you doing? You're not with your team, who are trying to make a play topside, and then get outnumbered. Shadow, in my opinion, is having a pretty bad game here. And as a whole, he may be caught out, because I see Lucian on the minimap. He's coming down towards you to kill you. And the rest of Rogue are there as well. Lee is trying to back. He's in the brush, protected. He cancelled his back. The culling comes through. Tom Kench's Abyssal Voyage comes as well. He's kicking back the Lucian. TK, though, with the Deadman's Plate, has got enough speed to chase him down. Tongue Lash lands. He flashes. There's a Lantern to safety, and the Dawning Shadow will not execute Lee Sin. Shadow gets away with his life. and the Baron is available for Rogue for another 2 minutes. They're going to make a lot out of this play, I feel, because they did only just waste about half a minute to try and kill Shadow. But I guess that's a good play for Mad. I don't know. It's bad the fact that he wasn't in the team fight. It was a 4v5 and Rogue just decimated them and got Baron. But it's technically good that he got 2 turrets and got away with his life, burning so many ults from Rogue. But he is fighting the Ornn here. Destiny comes through. Gold card's ready and Ornn's forced to flash. Volley from the Ashe comes through. Death sentence does not land. And Mad are in a bad position here as the minions from Rogue are hitting into their inhib turret. Rogue pressured Mad enough there to keep him away from that turret. And there's no one in this bot side of the map. So that's a free tier 2 turret for Rogue. They've already got the mid-wave one. There's only 1 tier 2 turret left standing as we see Inspired taking the second Infernal Drake of the game for himself. That being said, Camille, for Mad, is getting pushed into this bot wave. She doesn't have the best wave clear, so it makes a lot of sense for her to be clearing or pushing that wave. As we see a fight in the mid wave, Ornn is being jumped on by Lee Sin. He just hops back to his Thresh. Snare from Senna lands onto the Ashe, and I'd expect the 2 teams to realistically disengage here, waiting for Camille to come through for if you're Mad if you're trying to make a fight. But she's still hovering around the lane. She's finally recalling, and we may see a fight here. Shadow is coming around the side. Call of Forge God comes through. Death sentence is landing, but it doesn't mean much as this Thresh is getting taken down low. He's knocked up into the air. That's the first kill fight of Solution. That's the second kill for him as well. Shadow and a Humanoid on the other side of this wall could be the next casualties. Lee Sin, though, he's being baited here. He's trying to force away the Rogue lineup. TK though responds. Vander, he's the wall of prey. That's Evelyn also there. That is going to force Lee Sin back to his tiered, well, his inhib turret. Camille's finally joining the fight. She's got behind, but she's met by the loving arms of this TK, just slapping him with his tongue. He eats him up. He's being killed off by the Lucian. That's a triple kill for Larson here. Ornn dies the fountain and gets death sentence to his death, and that is game 1 for Rogue. Absolutely decimating Mad after they made mistake after mistake. Shadow constantly caught out. Humanoid tried to make plays, but realistically, they didn't get too much for it. Mad, as a whole, did not look good at all for game number 1 of this series, and it's actually amazing to see that they've actually got a few smiles on their face. Kazi and Urmne just smiling there. Not a good thing to see after a game 1 performance like that. I'm actually amazed they're laughing. Nonetheless, that's going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like down below. Subscribe if you're new around here if you want to. And I will see you guys later. Peace out.